Hello, everybody. My name's Armando. I am the Strong by Zumba instructor and wellness coordinator here at T3 Body Encinitas, where we tighten, tactical, and transition your life. And, well, as I said, my name's Armando, and I'm a food addict. And I know it seems kind of funny to some people, ridiculous to others, and even just completely made up to even more people. A lot of people see that as like, oh, that's just an excuse you're giving yourself to why you're fat, why don't you stop eating? Just stop eating. And it's like, and I used to think that way. I used to, I never saw myself as a food addict. That wasn't even a possibility. It was just, I just like to eat. I even said, hey, I'll work out a lot, but I still want to eat my tacos and I still want to eat my carne asada fries and I still want to eat the pizza because that's just who I am. I'm okay with that. But it wasn't until you start something that actually is changing your life for the better, from working out to eating better, that you start to realize I was a food addict. I am a food addict because I started to realize that the small things that people take for granted, I made it into a huge ordeal when I first started. And I was, you know, I would be at a party with friends and everything, and someone would order pizza. Normal people, well, I guess we're trying to define normal, but the average person would grab one or two slices and they'd be good. Me, being the food addict, would count how many pizzas we had, count the number of people, number of slices. Okay, so if there's 8 people and there's 3 pizzas, that's 24 slices. So that means everyone can have at least 3 slices. So I started counting. If that person, that was me, just trying to figure out to see how much I can actually eat. How much can I eat without seeming like I'm overweight, without it making it seem like, oh, I'm binging. But if everyone had their 3 slices, I can overeat now. If everyone's done, I start asking people, are you done? You done? You done? We're good? I never saw that as weird. I never saw that as obsessive. I never saw that as an addiction. It was just me. I just want to eat. But I come to realize that's not your average behavior. That's not your basic behavior of people that just want food. And it was things like that I started to realize that food is a huge part of everyone's life, whether they want to admit it or not. It has to taste good. It has to be good. And no one wants to eat healthy because when you think healthy diet eating, you think salads, you think just nothing but greens and veggies and no meat and no sauces and that. And the thing is, for some people, yeah, that's what it is. But it's not about stifling what you can eat. It's about knowing the correct foods to eat. It's about understanding portion control. You can go out and you can get a burger. It doesn't mean it has to be filled with barbecue sauce and ranch and mayo and mustard and everything. You can go a little bit less on that or not put it on it. Put an avocado on it. It's still good food, good fats. It's still good food. But the thing is, you also don't have to overeat. You get your giant burger and people eat that whole thing. I went to Slater's 50/50 for my birthday last month and I had this burger and the fat boy in me wanted to eat the whole thing. The thing is, I knew that I shouldn't. I can't. Like, that's not who I am anymore. Like, eating all that and then eating all those fries, and that just kills everything that I've been doing for that day. It's okay to fall off plan. But for that moment in time, yes, it was my birthday. I didn't want to do that. I didn't bust my butt that morning to ruin it. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's horrible. You should not deny yourself. You shouldn't, put yourself out there. Just have it. Just have a slice. Just have a piece. The one thing is, as I said, as a food addict, it's like, well, you see no to do it. It's just that little, it's that same feeling. When people when they tell a food addict, it's just one slice. It's just a piece of cake. Don't worry about it. It's the same as telling them it's just one line of Coke. It's just one bump. And I know to a lot of people that seems too extreme and like, no, you're just overreacting. No, science and studies have proven that cocaine and sugar have the same effects on your body, on your mind. It's still that addiction. Your body craves it. Your body wants it. And I can tell you for a fact that that's true. One of my biggest realizations that that's what I do, that's who I am, was I had been here about 3 or 4 months now. And Rick, our coach, had told me, he's all like, make sure you're eating well, because he was working me out and I was losing weight. He's like, you're eating well, you're eating well. And I was like, yeah, I'm eating well, I'm eating well. Of course, that was a lie, you know. But I was working out, so I thought that was enough. But every night, I worked until about 11:30. I'd be coming home at midnight. I was hungry. There's nothing else open. So what did I do? I went to Jack in a Box. Who doesn't love Jack in a Box at 12 o'clock at night? So I'd get myself a bacon ultimate cheeseburger, a large cherry Coke, and some bacon cheddar potato wedges, because that was my staple food. I'd go home, I'd eat it, I'd fall asleep. That was the norm for me. And it wasn't until my coach kept telling me, you can't outrun a bad diet. No matter how hard you work out, your eating habits will catch up to you. That you can't. You can't avoid that. And I told him, no, I'm good. I just need to work out harder. So he said, all right, we're going to try a little bit of an experiment. We are going to work out harder and build ourselves slowly. At that point in time, I was burning about 25 to 3,000 active calories a day. He said, we're going to slowly build it up to 10,000. Now, I know that sounds insane because that's kind of what the average MMA fighter trains at to burn their body and get themselves lean and everything. So for an average fat man like myself, I was like, oh yeah, I could totally do that. No problem. So we slowly built it up over a month period. I went up from 3,000 to 3,500 to 4,000 the next week, 4,500, 5,500. I got to 6,000 calories by the third week, but only 2 days. My body was wiped. I was dead tired. I couldn't move. My body was just like, just stop it. Just stop. It was screaming at me, just stop. And I was busting my butt for 3 weeks nonstop every time I came in. And you know what I did? I lost 3 pounds. So proud of myself. You have no idea. Yes! I couldn't even finish the month. Couldn't even get past 6,000 more than twice. Fast forward about 4 months, and my coach says, you're going on a restart. Now, a restart is trying to restart the engine, trying to cleanse it out and bring it back up. You're still eating. It's just portion control and eating healthier foods. No foods that inflame the stomach, no sugars, caffeines, even potatoes, beans. And that seems a little bit extreme to people. I'm not going on a super crash diet. No, that's just to clean out the system and take the inflammation out from the intestines, which actually does really help. But in doing that at the beginning, I just cut out sugar and caffeine. In 3 days, I lost 8 pounds. So my coach looks at me. So what did we learn? Food is important and you can't outrun a bad diet. Yes, sir. Now, it seems funny and it seems like, oh, you should have known that. You know, you're working out. You should know that. That's what it is. But the thing is, a lot of people don't get that. They don't understand it. I didn't understand it. And I decided at that point, okay, I need to start eating healthier. Now, I'm not talking about going 100% vegan, vegetarian, do this, do that. No, it's the 70-30 rule. 70% of your meals should be healthier, should have the right vitamins, should have the right minerals, the correct vegetables, a little less meat, a little more vegetables, what does it say? Your meal should be closer to the ground, for the table to the ground, or whatever they say. And that is true. And that a lot of the times, yeah, you know what? It's not going to taste great. It's not going to taste the best. It's not going to be the most delicious, mouth savoring. But the thing is, that's not what it should always be. That's a treat. You should treating your body, as I say, treat your body like a temple. Take care of it. And that extra 30%, that is that I'm going to go grab a shake. Just don't tell coach. That is it. I'm going to have a burger today, but maybe no cheese on it. I'm going to have, a pizza, but it will be, gluten-free crust or, and just veggies on it. You're allowed to indulge, just don't overindulge. Be aware of your portion control. And as I said, I was saying at the beginning, I used to go every time at midnight and get my burger, my fries, my shake, my everything. And it wasn't until that point when I started to realize that food is important that I decided, okay, you know what? I'm done eating so late. I'm going to grab myself a small snack around 10 o'clock. I still have 2 more hours before I have to get home, and that'll tie me over. I don't have to overeat. Now, that's when it actually hit me that I may be a food addict. I'm driving home, and unfortunately, that Jack in the Box is literally on my way home. So as I'm driving by, no big deal. I'm not going to get it today. My body was literally started shaking. And I'm going, well, I'm not going to turn. And I start gripping the wheel. And I don't understand. I'm getting angry. My body is literally getting pissed at me for not turning into that Jack in the Box to get that burger, fries, and a drink. I don't get it. Like, I'm shaking. I'm squeezing the steering wheel. Thank you. I don't know words right now. I'm squeezing that steering wheel so hard. I'm gripping it. And I'm mad at myself. I'm over the top angry at myself for not stopping. How dare you? It's just the burger. Just get it. Oh my God, why aren't you stopping? And I realized, why am I so angry? Just one day I don't grab that burger and fries and a drink at midnight. Just one day, and my body's ready to kick my own butt. It's ready to not, just forget about it. It's yelling me. I'm yelling at myself. It's in the car. I sound like an insane person going, it's just one time. No, just stop. Don't go. Just don't. I'm having this argument in my car. I have at a stoplight, and the person next to me looks at me like I'm insane because I'm yelling at myself. There's no music. I'm just yelling at myself. And that's when it clicked. I shouldn't have to fight myself to not eat badly. I shouldn't have to fight myself to just eat something slightly healthier, smaller portion. And then that's when I started to understand, you can't have just a slice. You can't just have, at least at this point in my life, I can't. Maybe you can. I know plenty of people that can't, and they have the willpower for it, and that's fantastic. But there's too many of us that rely on the fact that that's comfort food. That's what we understand. That's where, if it's stress, when you're a stress eater, when you're an emotional eater, whether you're happy, you're sad, you're pissed, doesn't matter. You go for that food that you always go for. And that's something that it's harder. It's harder than working out. It's harder than finding that motivation, as I said in my last video, to go forward, to just do it. Because eating is so natural nowadays. People smoke cigarettes, they get chided for it. Oh no, you shouldn't be doing that. Da, 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 da. People over drink. You know what? You drink too much alcohol, but you eat. No one says a word. You go out to a bar, you tell your friends, I'm just not drinking tonight. Okay, they understand. You know what? It's that type of day. Maybe you're recovering, you're whatever it is. You go out to eat, you don't get that burger. Whoa, what's going on? What, you trying to do a crazy diet? What are you doing this? And people don't understand why you're changing your habits. Why are you denying yourself that food? It's not denying yourself. It's trying to build your body. It's trying to build yourself, trying to get that feeling of being able to move better and feel better because you have the proper nutrients, because you're eating right. And I don't know. I always get sentimental, and I apologize, but this is all very personal to me, which is why I'm sharing it with you guys, because it is. Food, yes, important. And trust me, I still indulge once in a while. I just don't tell Coach about it. But I do indulge, but I've learned to do it in moderation. I learned to really savor that piece of cheesecake. When it comes up, it's no longer just another snack. It's just not a piece like, okay, I'm just going to eat it. No, when I eat it, I enjoy it. I truly enjoy it because it's not an everyday occasion. And that's all I'm saying. It's understand portion control and understand the right foods that you can and can't eat. I'm not going to tell you what's right and what's wrong. I can tell you what's worked for me and the science behind it. But the thing is, for a lot of people, it's different, whether it's keto, paleo, what is it called? Flexitarian, vegetarian, vegan. Everything has its ups and its downs. It's finding what's right for you, but understanding that you just have to start eating better. You don't have to completely cut out sugar and completely cut out fats you can if you want to. That's on you. Just find what works for you, and don't let that food control you. Don't get to the point where you're just so angry because you can't have one slice of pizza, because you can't have that one cookie. I've seen children throw tantrums because they can't have one cookie. A lot of people say they're just kids throwing tantrums. No, that's their brain, the sugar, going, why aren't you feeding me? Why aren't you giving me that sugar? And a lot of people don't get that. They chalk it up to, is such a child having a tantrum? No, they shouldn't be acting that way just because they don't have a little bit of sugar. And there's one more story that I do want to bring up, because this one is an understanding of when I went over that hump from being a food addict. I'm still a food addict, but coming to a better understanding with it. This was actually about 2 months ago. I'm driving to work, and if you're insane like I am, you tend to have these conversations in your head of possible scenarios and how to react to them. A lot of people are like, oh, I just respond when people say something. I tend to play 5-6 scenarios in my head of what someone might say and how I want to respond, and da-da-da-da-da. So as you can say, I'm a little neurotic, but that's all right. And this conversation, weirdly enough, was a future conversation that I have, because I want to work now more on nutrition with people. So I was thinking of me being a nutritionist, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, having a conversation with a client, and we're talking, and he asked me, what kind of diet am I doing? And I tell him I'm doing the Mediterranean diet. And he's all like, oh, why are you doing that? And kind of going back and forth. And the words in my head that came out from my future self was, that's because food was my dirty little secret. And I'm driving that phrase, food was my dirty little secret. I stopped. I mean, I was driving, but my brain just stopped. And it's trying to figure out, what did I just say? And I didn't understand what that meant until I started thinking about everything that I did. Whenever I was at home, at a friend's house, anything, whenever I'd get food, if it wasn't conventional to eat at a table with everyone, if I can eat by myself, I'd go away. And I thought that was, no, I just wanted to watch TV. I'm going to go watch TV over there. I don't want to eat with everyone. So if it wasn't a gathering, I would be on my own. And I didn't realize until that moment that that's because I was hiding it. I didn't want to see people. I don't want people to see me eat, to grab an extra slice, to grab 2 sodas instead of 1, to grab extra food, because I wanted to be able to indulge without people judging me. And the thing was, that mentality is what led me to get so big, because food was my dirty little secret. I would say, oh yeah, I can eat this, and then that. People didn't know that behind the curtains, I was eating even more. And and during that drive, I broke down. I'm driving and I'm crying. And I didn't understand why. I was getting emotional, and I'm laughing because of the realization that I had, and I'm crying and I'm laughing and I'm driving. And once again, I started to say, like, it's happened a lot to me in the car. I look like a crazy person. I got to work early. Like, I was on my way to work. I got to work and I'm in the parking lot and I'm crying. And it was also the realization of the words that I said, that food was my dirty little secret. And I realized I used the past tense, was. And I started repeating to myself, was, not is. It was. It isn't anymore. I'm not ashamed of the food that I eat. I don't go hide anymore, because I'm eating better for myself. Yes, like I said, I'll indulge once in a while, and that's not a bad thing. Don't deny yourself. Just don't make it an everyday thing. Don't make it a habit. It should be a treat. It should be a reward even sometimes. People talk about cheat days, but for that, like I said, it was. It isn't anymore. It was. And that hits so close to home. I went to work puffy-eyed, red eyes. People probably thought I was high. But it felt like an elephant was lifted off of my chest. I could breathe. And I didn't realize that I needed that, to understand that while I am still a food addict and I still have to work through a lot of issues, at that moment, food didn't have the power that it had in me as it used to in the past. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys. Just remember, find what works for you. Just find what makes you happy that you can deal with. You don't have to eat salads every single day. Just eat healthier. Eat more veggies. Eat more fruits. Less cheese, less sugar, less caffeine. And just remember, our motivation will inspire you to be better. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
T3 Body, you guys, is a company and a fitness company that really talks about the complete athlete. When I talk about our motivation inspires you to be better, all right, as a non-for-profit that supports military veterans that suffer from mental health issues, I really enjoy the support you guys are giving me here on YouTube. But again, I am seeking clients on my T3 Body. So if you go ahead and take a look at my website, understand that the intimacy of getting to know you starts with just 30 minutes motivation. So you go on there, you sign up for one of those, you get a one-on-one remote talk with me just like this. Then I encourage you to go and look at one of my training plans, download a 4 to 8 week training plan, and really kind of just test your body, test yourself, and just really start to get yourself ready to then do the next thing, is where you get 4 or 5 of your friends together and dare yourself to be better, where there you have a little bit more of my information along with my training plan. You get some remote sessions with me regardless of where you're at. You notice if you're watching me on YouTube right now, you can hear my voice and I can train you, all right? And that 45-day dare is a great way to just see and challenge yourself to really do the final thing, is become a member member. Being a member with me is a commitment, and it's made for just an elite amount of people. So when I talk about membership here, I really talk about a really elite group of individuals who really understand our core values of God, country, family, and really live by and have really adopted where our motivation inspires them to be better. So I wanted to touch on that, you guys, and really use that so that individuals like yourself who are getting better and inspiring others that understand that, you know what, we do need your support to keep everything going.